Hey, what's up guys, it's Apollo Uchiha here, back with the next part of What If Naruto was the 6th Hokage. And yeah guys, before continuing this, if you haven't, then please do leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. And without further ado, let's continue with our story. The morning sun rose over Konoha once again, and it indicated the Hokage's second day on the job, as Naruto woke up in his quarters and he realized the importance of the day. Today was the first council meeting as the Hokage of Konoha. After preparing for his meeting and gathering his notes to discuss at the meeting, he summoned a Kagebunshin for them to study the files and books he gathered from the library and the books given to him by the two elders. Naruto then remembered his duties for the day. He sweated nervously upon realizing that today he was going to be having his first council meeting. He had been preoccupied by his love life. He headed upstairs and made his way to his office first. Once there, he summoned clones once more to continue with the new stack of paperwork for today. Then Naruto healed up to the final floor of the tower to enter the large conference room which housed the Konoha's council meetings. Upon entering, all the eyes were suddenly on him. They seated in the large conference table seemed to be clan heads. On each of the seats of the clan heads was a flag attached to its back with the logo of the clan that they represented. He also noticed that the 4 of those seats were unoccupied. Also sitting on the table were 6 representatives out of the 7 of the civilian councils. They were seated near the end of the table, while at the head of the conference table was the seat for the Hokage. Seated nearest the Hokage's seat were the elders of Konoha. All noticed his arrival and quickly stood up to bow respectfully, including Danzo, which surprised everyone except the elders and himself. Naruto bowed back and made his way to his seat, as the rest of the council members sat on their respective seat. "Welcome, Hokage-sama, to your first council meeting. I believe it is time for us to begin," Hamura said respectfully as Naruto nodded his head. "I agree, Hamura-san," replied the blonde Hokage. "Very well then, I believe it would be best for each of you to introduce ourselves first and being our roll call," said Hamura with continuation. Then one by one, the members of the councils individually stood up to introduce themselves. The first were the 3 elders, then were the 6 civilian council members, each of which seemed to be in the age of 40 and over. From the 6 representatives, 4 of which were men and 2 of them were women. Most of them were successful businessmen and businesswomen in Konoha. Then finally there were the clan heads of Konoha, each of which began to introduce themselves and the clan they represented. They went by it in alphabetical order, the same way they were organized in the table. The first to introduce themselves were Aburame Shibi. "Greetings, Hokage-sama. My name is Aburame Shibi and I am here to represent the Aburame clan," he told him as he bowed respectfully. Naruto recognized the man as Shino's father and smiled. Only now he realized how many of his friends' parents represented their own clans as the heads. Then Naruto noticed the reserved man walked over to Naruto as he handed him a tanto. Naruto looked confused for a second but bowed gracefully as he thanked the old man. As Shibi made his way back to his seat, Koharu leaned over to Naruto's ear. "The clan head each brought your gifts, Hokage-sama. This is a customary tradition for each new Hokage, and this is done to gain favor and show their respect to you. Each gift represents their clan," she whispered. Naruto nodded and smiled at the gift. He wondered what each clan head has in store for him. Next up, stand up were the Choji's father. "Hokage-sama, I'm Akimichi Choza. I respectfully represent the Akimichi clan," he proudly declared, before standing up and handing Naruto an Akimichi Naginata. This was the main weapon of the clan. Once again, Naruto thanked the man for the wonderful gift. Then the third to stand up was the stoic Hyuga Hiyashi. He bowed at the presence of the young man and smiled. "He reminds me of his father," he thought to himself before he began his introduction. "I'm Hyuga Hiyashi and I'm here to represent the Hyuga clan as its leader," he said as he made his way to hand Naruto a yukata made from the finest silk. Its design was both simple and delicate. It was a black yukata with dark red sashes. Naruto accepted the gift happily. Kiba's mother then stood up with a feral grin as she stared down Naruto intimidatingly. Naruto gulped and began to sweat nervously due to the intense glare of the woman. "Hokage-sama, I'm Inuzuka Tizumi. I've heard so much about you from my Sochi, Kiba. Anyway, I'm here to represent the Inuzuka clan," she said as she handed Naruto an Inuzuka fang necklace. The 5th member to stand up was a man Naruto recognized quite well, the clan head of the Nara clan, and Shikamaru's father, Shikaku Nara. He stood up calmly and introduced himself with a sigh. Introductions are so troublesome, he confessed as the whole council sweat dropped at the Nara's laziness. Like father, like son, Naruto thought to himself in an amused tone before Shikaku began to speak. We already know each other, Hokage-sama, but I am Nara Shikaku, and I'm here as a Jonin commander and as the clan head of the Nara clan. He said his gift to Naruto, however, was unlike the other. This time it was a shogi board, which Naruto gladly accepted. Then a man the Hokage didn't recognize began to stand up upon first glance. Naruto almost mistook him from the deceased Jonin Sarutobi Asuma. He appeared to have the same spiky beard and the same beard as Asuma, but physically he was slightly shorter and smaller than the man. Hello there, Hokage-sama. We have not yet to meet. I am certain you met my father, son, and my older brother. In fact, I've heard a lot of things about you from the three of them. All good things, I assure you. The said man chuckled. My name is Sarutobi Daisuke, Hokage-sama. I am the son of Sandem Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen, and the younger brother of Sarutobi Asuma, and I am here to represent the Sarutobi clan. He said as Naruto's eyes widened. He now recognized why this man seemed slightly familiar. Upon hearing this news about him being familiar with his son, Naruto guessed that this man was the father of Konoha. Naruto smiled as he met the man and the new head of the Sarutobi clan. If he was anything like his father, brother, or son, then he and Naruto will likely have a good relationship. Daisuke also walked towards Naruto as he handed him his gift. As the two men met for the first time, they also shook hands. On behalf of the Sarutobi clan, Naruto was handed a traditional clan bow staff designed much like the Sandam's adamantium staff with the Monkey King Enma. As Daisuke made his way back to the seat, the final member of the clan had stood up. Naruto recognized him as Iro's father. Greetings, Hokage-sama. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Yamanaka Inoichi and I am here to represent the Yamanaka clan, he said as he walked towards Naruto and handed him a katana as a gift. The katana was the weapon which represented their clan the best. Naruto then stood up and bowed towards the whole table. Thank you everybody for your gifts. As Hokage, I will make sure to treasure each of them and consider them as an act of friendship from each of the clans, he said before the members of the council began to applaud to the young man. If it's alright with all of you, I will begin this meeting now. Naruto continued as the whole council room nodded. Hokage-sama, suggest we begin with our plan concerning Konoha's reconstruction. Currently, this is the village main issue and we would like to hear your input on the matter and how you plan to fix this current problem, advised Tomura. Naruto nodded as he began to address the situation at hand. During the past few days, I have been thinking of methods in which we could restore Konoha to its former glory. Our first plan on recalling back our ninjas away on lower level missions, recon mission and border patrol duties. We will need their efforts and as much help as we can get in order to rebuild our village. Naruto continued. Is that all, Hokage-sama? Asked one of the civilian council members, not yet completely convinced by Naruto's plan of construction. Naruto shook his head. Of course not. This is just the beginning. As you all know, Yamato Taicho along with me have the rare Mokitan ability. He said the council members were shocked and Naruto explained, after which they nodded their heads. Well, with this unique ability, I plan on assigning Yamato as the leader of the reconstruction project of Konoha. Our Mokitan ability are invaluable in this situation. My plan involves him leading the reconstruction and myself as the overseer of the project, he told the council confidently as the council began to see the logic in Naruto's choices and decisions. Shikaku adopted a thinking pose as he strategized other methods to further increase the potential rate of reconstruction of Konoha. Hokage-sama, how about we also ask for help from our allies from Suna to speed up our restoration, he suggested. Naruto smiled at Shikaku's thought. He was thinking along the same lines and the sum. I'm glad you brought that up, Shikaku-san. I was thinking of the same thing, but Gaara is not my only option. During my days as a genin, I took part in various high-ranking missions, and from them, I managed to meet a wide variety of people, many of which could help us with the reconstruction, he replied. Naruto then went on the list of the people he had in mind, all of which shared a friendly connection and bond with the Hokage, and Naruto was confident that they were willing to help him in his time of need. He told the council of his plan to ask for help from likes of Tazuna, Shibuku, Gaara, Toki, Chikaru, Kyoki, and Haruna, and he also told them about a potential treachery with Ame. The council as a whole was surprised to hear this, but when told them what he discussed with Conan, all of them agreed. He would now soon write letters to each of the people he previously listed, and he plans on sending a Genin team for each letter. Aside from that, he also planned on sending out a few more Genin teams to also gather and purchase resources from other lands. Once the talk of constructions ended, the council members were quite impressed with the young Hokage. He composed himself as a true Hokage and showed that he offered logical and impressive plans to fix the current situation of Konoha. But despite all of that, what surprised the council most was Naruto's connection. The young man already had the supports of various leaders, major political figures, and even daimyos. All of this could prove useful for the future. Naruto too advises Konoha and Hamura also noted this down. This connection of Naruto has the potential to be beneficial in the long run. And Danzo was also supporting the young man. Everyone was surprised, but Shikaku deduced that something must have happened yesterday to cause this. After this decision on Konoha's reconstruction, Naruto then brought up his own ideas concerning promotions, and the council members all listed attentively and unbiased as they could ever for each of Naruto's 6 recommendations for promotion. The first promotion was for a Chunin recommendation. He told them that he wished for Sarutobi Konohamaru to be promoted for his heroic and action during the invasion of Pain, wherein he managed to defeat one of his 6 paths of Pain in order to save his sensei Ebisu, and he managed to do so by performing the Rasengan. Naruto couldn't help but smile as he recommended his unofficial student for the promotion. He was proud of his Ototo and his student for his growth as both a ninja and as a man. Ultimately, the council decided anonymously that Konohamaru did deserve the promotion. In the back, Daisuke grinned at his son's promotion. The next one Naruto had in mind was a promotion for a long-time Chunin and member of the Hokage Guard Platoon, Tatame Iwashi. He wished for him to be promoted from Chunin to Tokubetsu Jonin due to his long tenure as both a Chunin and member of the Hokage Guard Platoon. He also shown himself to wield the skills of a Tokubetsu Jonin. Unlike the previous recommendation, this decision took much longer, but in the end they decided he too was worthy of the promotion. Then there were Naruto's 4 final promotions, all of which were the ranks of the Jonin, 3 of which were for Morino Ibiki, Shirunan Genma, and Mitarashi Yanko. The first 2 choices had not been all that much conflicted, unlike the final choice. The council saw it fit for both Genma and Ibiki to be promoted for their long-lasting loyalty to Konoha and all for their action and achievement during their tenure as a ninja. However, Anko was a much more controversial choice than any of them. Most of the council was still unsure of her loyalty due to her previous association with the Snake Son in Orochimaru, but after some input and conveying by the Hokage, the council voted for her, and so that the Snake Mistress was chosen for a promotion to council members. Again, her promotion decided to trust in the Hokage's judgment. The final promotion Naruto had in mind consisted of his good friend. Naruto suggested for Nara Shikamaru to be promoted from Chunin into a Jonin. The council members were all surprised, but none more so than Shikaku Nara. After a lengthy discussion concerning the possibility of promotion, the council was swayed by Shikamaru's tactical, strategic, and leadership ability, but was disappointed by his lazy and unmotivated nature. However, ever since the death of Asuma, nobody could say that Shikamaru was the same person. That unfortunate event proved to be an eye-opener for the young man. In the end, though, it was Shikamaru's victory over Heidan which sealed the deal. The council members all decided that he truly was worthy of promotion. Naruto smiled at the council. All 6 of the recommendations planned out to be promoted. Now, after this discussion on promotion, they began to talk about the budgeting of Konoha's many departments. The debate concerning this topic lasted a couple of hours. Naruto made it clear that he wished to dedicate most of their funds from the daimyo trades and savings on the reconstruction of Konoha. Nobody could disagree with that choice. It was logical for him to choose that at this point, but it would be the following priorities that would spark up debate between the council. Naruto wished to prioritize both education and healthcare after the reconstruction effort. Some were agreeing with Naruto, while others were deciding to give that towards the military, seeing as how their military was already the strongest among the 5 nations. He believed that healthcare and education were simple, more important at the moment. The argument for Konoha's funds soon ended, and with more than half of the council agreeing with Naruto after further convincing by the Hokage himself. After the Konoha's lengthy discussion with the council, the meeting was finally ended to an end. Naruto's first meeting was unofficially over, and it took up to 4 hours for their time. Despite the amount of time spent, Naruto was still pleased with himself as he managed to accomplish the goals and plans he had set out to do beforehand. Before they left, they were told about Naruto's new reinstated route and the changes in it. Naruto also joked about pranking Root as he had done with nearly each clan and the Anbu. The Shinobi Council members quickly understood that why Danzo was so supportive of the Hokage. Naruto also told Inoichi to discuss about some issues with the Yamanaka clan elders later in night, which he understood and nodded and left. As the members of the council began to walk towards the exit, each congratulated Naruto once more in his new position and for his accomplishment. After a while, the last remaining people in office were the two advisors and Danzo. All three of them approached the blonde Hokage. "Tell me, Hokage-sama, how did you find your first council meeting?" Amir asked the Hokage. "It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It was certainly much longer than I thought, but I believed I managed things to achieve the things I set out to do," he answered with a smile. Hamura nodded. "Well, I must say, Hokage-sama, you did quite well, considering this was your first." "Why, thank you, Hamura-san. I do have a question, though. Concerning the council, why are there 4 vacant clan head seats and only 1 vacant civilian council seat?" "Allow me to explain, Hokage-sama," intervened Koharu. "These 4 seats are for the clan heads of the Kurama clan, Senju clan, Uchiha clan, and Uzumaki clan. As you know, those 4 clans are quite frankly lacking members. Tsunade was among the last known Senju within Konoha. You are among the last known Uzumaki clan members within Konoha. And finally, your former teammate is also known as the last among the Uchiha. As for Kurama clan, their heir is still unable to fulfill her duties, seeing as how she is trying to master her abilities, and the civilian council seat is that of the Namikaze clan," she explained. Naruto nodded at the logical argument. He did in fact remember the pale girl known as Kurama Yakumo. He only hoped she was doing well whenever she was. One thing did bother Naruto though. Why wasn't he the representative of the Uzumaki clan? Because him being a Namikaze was hidden? "Koharu-san, are you... As you previously stated, I am an Uzumaki. Why was I unable to represent my clan, or could I also represent my clan now as Hokage?" he asked curiously. "You were unable to represent your clan in the past due to your age. A council member should be at least be 18 years of age. This could only be bypassed if the Hokage allows you to be a clan head, even if you are underage. That's certain point, and it seems that both the Sandam and Kodama did not use this loophole," she answered. Naruto nodded. He understood why he probably wasn't chosen. For the Sandam, it was probably because he was too young and he was just beginning to grow up, while for the Godama, it was probably because he wasn't ready for the responsibility just yet. He didn't mind not being chosen to represent his clan. There was no hard feelings. He was just curious to know why he wasn't didn't represent them. Unfortunately, Hokage-sama, you are also now unable to represent your clan. Seeing as how you are Hokage, as Hokage you should act as the unbiased judge and leader of the group. And also we cannot give you a second vote during the meetings. You already have one as Hokage, and you also have the final say in things. We cannot give you another vote. And as clan head, seeing as that may be unfair, however, your clan could be represented by any relative you may have. Any heir you may soon have. If you are married, then your wife could be represented your clan, even though if she may not be an Uzumaki or Namikaze to begin with. Just as long as she takes your last name, she is capable to represent your clan while you act as the Hokage," she explained. "Alright, I understand," replied Naruto before the two left the council room. The two elders made their way to the offices, leaving Naruto alone with Danzo, who took a seat, and Naruto asked him, "Any progresses so far?" Link break. Naruto said, "In this mission, you have to..." But before he could continue, there was a knock on the door. Knowing who were there, he gave the permission to enter. Kakashi and Sai entered, confused to see Naruto alone with Danzo. Both of them then sat down as Naruto continued. "I have called because I need Sai and Danzo for a mission, and something else for Kakashi." He looked at Danzo and Sai and said, "I want Danzo to contact the leader of Akatsuki, Uchiha Madara." All eyes opened and widened upon hearing Naruto explain. "When I was in 8-tail state, I met Tochan. He told me that someone was controlling the QB 16 years ago, and not even he was able to defeat him. We know that only one person is capable of controlling and strong that he could control QB while fighting someone as strong as the Yondan Hokage." All of them agreed with the explanation as he continued. "Danzo, contact Madara and put him the act that you wanted to overthrow me. I want you to know all of his plans, what he intends to do. Sai, every time he meets him, I want you to follow Danzo with one of your ink beasts. This way, even if Madara does something to Danzo, we will know what his plans are." Danzo knew how much dangerous this mission was, but if he got the information, then Akatsuki would really be in Konoha's fingertips. He nodded and accepted this mission along with Sai. He turned to Sai and said, "I have a proposition for you, Sai. Actually, you could say it's more like a mission that you could choose to accept or refuse." Sai raised an eyebrow, and he was startled. "What will be the objective of this mission?" he asked in response. "The mission is based around espionage. I'm not going to beat around the bush, Sai. I'm offering you to be Konoha's new spy master. Ever since the death of my sensei, Konoha has lacking as a spy master. At this moment, I have the notes and knowledge about my senses spy network, and I do not have time to manage it. This is where you come in. I am more than aware about your talent in espionage, and I thought you could be the logical choice for this position. So I was shocked, as were Danzo and Kakashi, by this proposal. Are you sure about this, Naruto? I hate to remind you this, but I did spy on you for Danzo-sama. He replied. Naruto nodded in his head. I'm still impressed about that. I trust you with this task, Sai. Despite your work for Danzo, I know for a fact that you had no choice in that matter, he declared. Sai wondered about the pros and cons about being the spy master of Konoha. He was still unsure if he was able to continue with this position or not, but he was confident in his ability to thrive in the role. Why me? Why not Kakashi or Yamato? Asked Sai. Honestly, I considered those two, but Kakashi will be too busy with the second in command of the Hokage. Yamato, on the other hand, he'll be busy with Konoha's reconstruction, but you were by no means my third choice. All of three of you have great potential for this position, but in the end, I do think that you are the right choice for this. So what do you think? He says, while offering his hand to Sai. The former root operative stared at the Hokage's hand. After much internal debate, he knew that this was something he had to do. In a way, this was his way of repenting for his earlier betrayals. Naruto may have forgiven him, but he has yet to forgive himself. He shook the hand of the friend and Hokage as he stared into Naruto's eyes. I accept, he exclaimed in a serious and steely tone. Naruto grinned happily. He knew that he found the right job for the right man. He could see the fire and determination in Sai's eyes despite his usual calm and emotionless demeanor. Naruto could see how much this appointment meant to him. That's good to hear, Sai. As the Rokudame Hokage for Konoha, I am proudly to appoint you as the new spy master of Konoha. Sai nodded his head. So, when do I start? Starting to the point, I see, replied Naruto. Tomorrow head over to my office and I'll give you the details and notes of my master. I'll also contact our spies and inform them about this. That'll be wise, Hokage-sama, said Danzo. Also, Sai, let's keep your identity and role as the spy master a secret for now. We wouldn't want the Akatsuki to target you. Aside from myself, I'm allowing only a handful of other people to be informed about your new role. Kakashi, Shikamaru, Tsunade, Yamato, and Danzo will be among those aware. Other than those five and me, nobody else will be allowed to learn about this. Are we clear? Hi, Hokage-sama. You can count on me, said Sai with determination in his eyes. Good, you can leave now, said Naruto as Sai left the room. Then he turned to Danzo and said, Danzo, I know that this mission is dangerous, and with the current assets you have in your eye, I would be dangerous for Konoha if someone managed to get the eye. Danzo's eyes widened upon hearing this, but Naruto remembered. He remembered Naruto's sensory ability. He nodded and went to answer, but the Hokage beat him to it. I know an area ninjutsu which will transfer both your eyes, and using the Cubist chakra, I can make Sensei eye turn on and off. Each eye widened upon hearing this. He decided to demonstrate it. He put his hand on besides Kakashi's left eye and channeled Cubist chakra into it. Kakashi felt something change in his body and chakra network a little. After that was done, Kakashi stopped channeling chakra into his eye and removed his headband, and everything was normal, which meant that Naruto was telling the truth. He's again channeled chakra into his eye, and now he was watching the world from the Sharingan's perspective. Naruto turned to Danzo, told him the hand signs, and told him to do the jutsu. The jutsu was developed by Tsunade in case that anyone did not have time on a battlefield needed a transplant for a nearly dead or dying person. Danzo completed the hand sign, concentrated on Kakashi's eyes, and said, Emergency transfer technique. White light from Danzo's right eye connected with Kakashi's right eye as the eyes exchanged themselves. Naruto did the same with Kakashi's right eye, and now Kakashi was able to see from both eyes. Normally, after nearly 18 years, he activated his Sharingan and the Mangekyo instead of both eyes from different. Both had the same pattern as of Obito. Naruto even made a seal on Kakashi's head and stored 5 tails worth of Cubist chakra to heal Kakashi's eye and body after he would use the Sharingan automatically. Kakashi thanked Naruto and left as Danzo and Naruto turned to each other to burn his arm as the highest quality of replacement will be arranged for him. Danzo nodded and bowed and left the office, leaving Naruto to train again. Link break. Danzo replied, Yes, Hokage-sama. I was able to contact with one of these spies. He seems to be formed from Hashirama cells. From our knowledge, he was Setsu. I have relayed the message to him. In about 3 to 4 days, maybe he will inform him and come to visit me. Naruto replied, Good. Keep progress and keep me updated, and go to the temporary hospital today. A metal arm with full functional artificial chakra pathways is waiting for you. Turns about and left, so did Naruto as he went back to his office to write letters and to send them to the different leaders. Unknown area. Team Taka was quickly running through the trees to make it to Sasuke's former home, Konoha. During the journey, the team was relatively silent. Well, at least more silent than usual. Sasuke led the group, but he was engrossed with the past memories of Itachi. That has been occupying his mind lately since he learned the truth about the massacre of the Akatsuki leader Uchiha Madara. He clenched his fist in anger at the thought of the village crimes towards the Uchiha. He vowed to be the one to avenge his clan. Their silent journey continued until they noticed a portal-like disorientation in front of them. The four stopped to see what it was. Suddenly they noticed a masked man walked out of the tunnel. Team Taka recognized the man as Madara Uchiha. The masked man suddenly noticed the company. He raised a hand and greeted the four. "Hey Sasuke," he said nonchalantly. Sasuke didn't seem surprised at the arrival of his distant relative, while the three other teammates were shocked. "What the hell? How did this guy do that? I didn't even sense his chakra." It was as if his chakra just came out of nowhere. Karin frantically thought to herself. So he gets so cursed at the arrival of the leader of Akatsuki. Shit. Bad timing, he mumbled to himself. Sasuke was the only one unfazed from the four. He looked at Madara with an interested expression. "How did you find us?" he asked him. Madara scoffed at the foolish question the younger Uchiha asked. "Don't underestimate my power, Sasuke. It's just the tip of the iceberg," he replied. Sasuke now stoically nodded. "What do you want from me and my team? Team Taka is no longer part of the Akatsuki. We have no use for you and your group anymore." Madara shook his head and at Sasuke's foolishness. "Tsk, tsk, tsk, Sasuke, did you really forget our deal?" he asked rhetorically. "I told you that I will kill you and your team if you betray me, and it seems that you did just that," he said calmly. Sasuke looked at the man confused. "What the hell are you even talking about?" he demanded. "I'm talking about the eight-tailed Jinchuriki. You failed me, Sasuke." "What are you talking about? We captured him and even delivered him to you," intervened Karin. Madara slowly turned his head towards the red-haired Kunoichi. "It was a fake, my dear. He tricked all three of you," he informed them as she gasped. In the back, Jugo remained calm, but Suigato gritted his teeth. "The Hachibi Jinchuriki really pulled the fast one on the four of you. I'm really quite disappointed, I must say. Here I thought you four had any potential as a team," he admitted as Sasuke clenched his fist in anger. He hated to fail, and he hated to look beat down upon. He recalled the battle itself, and soon his eyes widened as he realized that Madara did speak the truth. During the battle, he truly did give them a slip. Suigato broke the awkward silence as he marched towards the masked man. "What do you want us to do about it? We already did our job," he yelled angrily, but the volume had no effect on Madara, seeing as how he stood as calm as before. "No, you will fulfill your promise to me and my group, but I no longer interested in Hachibi's Jinchuriki. Instead, I have another target in mind for you." For Sasuke faced the older Uchiha. "And what if I said no?" asked daringly. "Then you will have to face me if you wish to make it to Konoha, and I'm sure all four of you know that. Even with your combined power, you four are still too weak to challenge me," he answered while flaring the chakra slightly, causing Karin and Suigato to gulp nervously due to the power of his chakra. Sasuke paid his threats no mind. He readied his Chidori and jumped towards the masked man, only for him to pass through the older Uchiha. His eyes widened as the power of Madara as Sasuke passed through him. He whispered something to Sasuke. "It's too late to go to Konoha now." Sasuke jumped back to his team after recovering. His eyes were widened due to the statement and Madara power. The rest of the team were also locked in shock at the power of Madara. "There is no point in your goal anymore, Sasuke. It's futile too bad for you." "What do you mean?" Sasuke asked as he glared at the masked man. "Konoha has been destroyed, Sasuke." The whole team Taka were further shocked with the revelation. Karin was the first one to recover. "What are you talking about?" she asked him. Madara was about to speak until he noticed another chakra source out of the group. Zetsu popped up. The members of Team Taka were surprised to see the Akatsuki spy pop up out of nowhere. During their time with the group, they have learned about the plant-like man's power. "Allow me to explain, Madara-sama," asked Zetsu. His mother nodded, not before asking him a question. "So Zetsu, I assume you did as you were told. Who was the new Hokage?" "I assume it's Danzo." Zetsu faced his master. "During my spying mission in Konoha, I found out that there were three candidates for the position Hokage. One was Shimura Danzo, the second one was Uzumaki Naruto, and the third one was Kakashi Hatake," explained the spy. So as Sasuke looked surprised at the inclusion of his former teammate. Unknown to the group, however, Madara flinched slightly upon hearing the name of the third candidate. He unknowingly tightened his jaw upon hearing the name, possibly becoming the Hokage of Konoha. Madara quickly composed himself in order to avoid arousing suspicions. He turned to Zetsu once more. "Tell me who was chosen," he demanded impatiently, but Zetsu remained unaffected by the man's sudden loss of composure. In the end, it was the Cubist Jinchuriki Uzumaki Naruto. He told him as the team members of Team Taka had shocked expression, but the most shocked out of them all would be Sasuke. The young Uchiha's eyes widened in shock and his mouth was slightly agape. Madara, on the other hand, was slightly surprised by this. He had expected Danzo, but still, with the piece of information, it seemed his plans have changed once more. Madara suddenly began to laugh mirthlessly. He could see the irony of it all upon hearing the name. Is this true, Zetsu? Are you certain? He explained. Zetsu nodded. It is true. His power has certainly reached the levels of Hokage, he assured. Madara sighed. This meant that once again a wrench was thrown into his plan, and lo and behold, the cause was Naruto once more. This spelled bad news for Akatsuki since Naruto's protection in now heavily increased as Hokage, and also it was rare for Hokage to leave their village, seeing as how things managed the things and village within the confines of their own personal office. Capturing Naruto was now much more difficult, seeing as how he gained the strength to defeat an enemy at the caliber of Pain, and how the Akatsuki wanted to get to Naruto. They now had to go through all of Konoha. It didn't help the Pain also revived the ninjas he killed in his attack of Konoha. As Madara thought about his next course of action, one thing was certain: Naruto was now their priority at this point of time. Sasuke clenched his fist and gritted his teeth upon hearing this news. There's no way that Tobi's the Hokage, he thought to himself. Sasuke was filled with inner turmoil at the moment. He couldn't believe that Naruto had the power of the Hokage already. They just seen each other a few months back, just after Naruto, Sakura, and Sai and Yamato battled with Kabuto and Orochimaru at the Tenchi Bridge. During that battle, Naruto was no match for him whatsoever. Even with the help of the other three, he could have easily defeated them. But now it seems that was not the case. The young Uchiha hated to be outshined and hated to be weaker than anybody. But the one thing he hated most was the thought that Naruto could have been better than him. Ever since he knew him, he had been better than the dead lost in everything. And even though he once considered him to be a brother, he would never allow him to exceed him in any way. He quickly shook his head from these thoughts to despair from now. Before he deals with Naruto, he needs to know about what had happened to Konoha. He looked towards the two Akatsuki members. I don't care if Naruto is Hokage or not. Tell me about Konoha, he demanded as he attempted to hide his true feelings and thoughts about the information. Madara glanced towards the younger Uchiha, Pain. I ordered one of the Akatsuki members to attack Konoha, and it seems both he and you have quite made a commotion in order of the Five Nations. After you attacked the Ichibi and Pain attacked the Kyuubi, the Five Nations have been distressed. No longer were Konoha and Suna the only village seeing us as legit threats. At least two more have begun to take actions at countermeasures or remove. He explained to the four-man team before Zetsu interrupted him. Allow me to explain, Madara-sama, he asked. Madara nodded. Zetsu then went on to explain the battle of Pain and Naruto. The four were surprised at the level of destruction the two caused around the Land of Fire, along with Naruto's growth as a ninja. They were further shocked to hear that Pain wielded the legendary Rinnegan. They couldn't believe that Naruto could defeat a man of that caliber. With the news told to them, the three recruited members of Team Taka were unsure of what they believed from Sasuke. They were constantly told old stories of Team 7 and how weak Naruto was compared to them and him. And now here they were hearing about the accomplishments of the same Naruto. After a while, Zetsu managed to complete his explanation, leaving the four dumbfounded. Suigatsu looked at the Akatsuki spy. He was still slightly unsure about all of this. Are you sure that Naruto actually did all of that? He asked him, causing Zetsu to nod. He shuddered at the thought of someone wielding that much power and potential. I assume and assure you all that I speak the truth. Naruto's power increased immensely ever since he learned Senjutsu. He is even stronger than Sasuke-kun, he said teasingly. Sasuke glared at the plant like man and unleashed a little bit of ki. I don't care about all of that. Tell me about this summit he spoke of. He demanded angrily, his emotions showed his true thoughts about the matter in hand. Madara sensed Sasuke's uncontrollable emotions when it came to the matter as such this. He grinned and as he saw Sasuke in the state. His superiority complex when it came to Naruto made him an easy target to manipulate. This could prove to be an excellent opportunity for Akatsuki, he thought to himself. Suigatsu then walked over to Sasuke and broke the silence. What are you thinking, Sasuke? Why are we even talking about this summit meeting? Isn't our mission to kill Danzo and the elders of Konoha? He asked. Sasuke looked at his sword-wielding teammate with a stoic demeanor. Do not worry, Suigatsu. I still plan on killing Danzo and the elders, but before I have something to prove. I have a target before we get to the elders. I wish to kill my brother, he told them with a maniacal grin as the three looked at him confused. Suigatsu then said, what do you mean, your brother? We already killed Itachi, he asked. Sasuke glared at him for bringing up old wounds. Suigetsu stood back a bit once Sasuke began to unveil his new Mangekyo Sharingan at him. You wouldn't understand, Suigetsu. None of you would understand. This is just something I must do. Something inside of me will not allow to continue what he is doing. He told them, finally losing his cool. In the back, Madara grin further increased, but the expression was hidden beneath his mask. I think I could offer you a solution to your problem, Sasuke, interjected the man. As the four members of Taka directed their attention to him, Akatsuki and I already have planned set in to attack the five Kages summit. We were originally going to attack to send a message to the five Kages and deal as much damage to them as possible, but since the Kyuubi Jinchuriki is now the Hokage, this could also serve as our best chance to capture him. So tell me, Sasuke, are you by any chance interested in joining? He asked coyly with a grin hiding underneath the mask. Card me and my team in, but only with one condition. I'll be the one who will fight Naruto. He told Madara, and the older man grinned widened as he nodded to confirm Sasuke's confirmation. Good. My plan is all coming together. He thought to himself. Where is the summit happening? Sasuke asked. And when? It will take place in the Land of Iron, approximately 1 month from now. Sasuke nodded. Madara then looked at his spy Zetsu. We have to change our plans. I need you to look for Kisame and bring him back. We need him for an attack on the summit if we wish to capture the Hokage. He said as Zetsu nodded. The Akatsuki spy then submerged into the ground to look for the fellow Akatsuki members Kisame. At the same time, Madara and the four members of Team Taka were quickly making their way to the Akatsuki hideout to begin their plans for the attacking of summits. During the journey, they heard Madara smile underneath his mask due to his new recruit. It looks like all my plans are coming together, and into a fortune as well. In due time, he thought to himself. In due time indeed. As this is where I'm going to be leaving this part of, guys. I hope you like this one, and if you do, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. As this is Apollo Uchiha and I'm signing out. Peace.